99.9, the clean, fresh stereo sound. It's time for another edition of Solutions right here on WEFM 99.9, the clean, fresh stereo sound. Hey, but before we get into that, let me bring you up to speed. Today being Tuesday, our Searchlight newspaper is available online. Check it out right now at searchlight.vc. In the headlines, men accused of Grenada robbery set free by the court. CARICOM welcomes offer from China to provide support in response to COVID-19. Local restaurant launches campaign in fight against domestic violence. Queens Drive woman shot in the face while looking out her window. Speaker of the House shares his views on election petitions and the upcoming elections. 4 men held after police seized guns, ammunition and cocaine in joint operation. CARICOM throws its support behind Baroness Scotland for re-election as Commonwealth Secretary General. 5 more countries added to the Ministry of Health quarantine list. Politicians should think twice before they speak. Sports, stories from the courts, health, advice, and much more, all available right now at searchlight.vc. Searchlight, journalism you can trust. Check us out online right now, searchlight.vc. Good. So, from time to time, I find myself revisiting certain topics as they pop up. Because I'm looking at a news story this morning, and I saw that the CED is about to get into one of the innovation competitions. Good stuff. But one of the topics I saw there is sargassum, which is that floating seaweed. And I'm saying, boy, we in the Caribbean does waste time, because it's been years that we've been fighting with sargassum, and it seems as if we don't know what to do. It's amazing. It's seaweed. Now, the first time my mind started working in this direction, I visited Beckway for a weekend. And them fellas said, let me go around industry. That's a part of Beckway. And I got to a certain area. At Bodna, it was stink to high heaven. Oh, boy, it smelled terrible. So I said, fellas, what's going on there, boy? Oh, they have a dump site somewhere nearby that you ain't dealing with? And I said, boy, no, boy. That's where they bring all the seaweed and pile up. I said, seaweed smell like that? I said, yeah, boy. So instantly my mind started working. I said, well, if it could stink, it means it's organic. So I facepalm myself. I say, why didn't I think of this before? Yes, it is supposed to be organic because it is a living plant. I said, boy, you know what's happening there? That's a perfect opportunity to compost this thing and make it into agriculture manure. I tell you. So I started doing the research. Not so long after, I heard the Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Saboto Caesar, he said that some officials are supposed to come here to have a meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture on how to use sargassum seaweed as compost. I said, boy, if I was still in St. Martin's with Saboto, I'd give him a clout. Yeah, I was in Form 5, but he was in Form 3. So I would have given him a hard clout. You want to bring people here to put them up in hotel, give them food and drinks and drive them wrong and to tell us how to compost seaweed? You gotta be kidding. We have a compost facility out in Orange Hill. So that's one. Compost facilities don't have to be something fancy dandy, but they build a fancy dandy one out in Orange Hill. So we have one that is owned by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But here is an opportunity now for investment for perhaps somebody who have a little money and a little land available. There's seaweed floating all around this country. There are beaches that are covered with this thing. All we need to do is go and rake it up, put it in some bags, and take it to any one of these facilities to be turned into compost. Huh? Simple. I know what I'm talking about. Composting is purely the drift seaweed, right? It can be converted 70% of the biomass into organic compost, which is consisting of 2.3% nitrogen, 0.86% phosphorus, 1.8% potassium. These are things that plants love. Plants love the thing. Plants love the thing. All those substances I just called out, right, are also available in dishwashing liquid and all them thing, right? That is why the wastewater that runs out from your pipes. Right now, I don't allow the water to run out when my son is doing the dishes. I park up right next to him and I have a bucket. And as soon as he finishes rinsing one and wash it out, I dip out that soap water out into my garden. Lettuce, flowers, cabbage, tomatoes, everything. The same nitrates and phosphorus and everything that's in that, it is found naturally in an organic form, not a chemical form, but an organic form in seaweed. And I've had some good successes with that seaweed. Whenever it washes up at Kettles Bay, I am down there. 5-6 bags. And you know what I do? I take that bag, dig a small hole, nothing more than a few inches deep. And I cover that with a layer of soil. And I wet that on a daily basis. Cover it with soil, wet it, wet it, wet it. Anytime I see things start growing from that, I know it's ready to use. So I go and I turn it up, and the seaweed becomes black. It breaks down naturally into the soil. Now the soil is now black and rich. If I could do that on a small scale, imagine what you can do on a large scale. We having seaweed mashing up our beaches in the Grenadines. Humbugging, diving, humbugging, fishing. Well, not really humbugging fishing. The fishermen say, some of the fish feel safe under the seaweed. So, you drop your line right there, they catch plenty fish. But that's in the water floating out there. I'm talking about on our beaches. In the Caribbean, we still have it as a problem. In the news, I still hear they say, the sargassum problem in the region. What kind of problem? This is a gift from heaven. Natural organic seaweed. It's been used all over the world in agriculture. It can be turned into manure. It can be turned into fertilizer. But we still believe in the chemical fertilizer natural. We still believe in buying a sack of something so that you can take and just throw so. Well, look at the bag. Read the ingredients and you will realize that it's having the same thing they have there. Read it. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. That's the component that is in the chemical ones that we bring in here by the sack. Hundreds of sack and sell to farmers. Well, we have something here that is organic. Not chemical, but organic. A gift from Jaja. Floating on the water. Landing on our beaches. We don't have to go out there and put it in. We don't have to go and harvest it. It is landing on our beaches. All we need to do is rake it up, bag it up, compost it. It is all over the region. But we still have, what? The last OECS meeting I heard, they had sargassum dung as something to discuss. Look now. na na na, because I might end up saying something. We are wasting time and we're playing the fool. It is like manna from heaven. It is landing on our beaches, and we're playing the fool with it. So now I'm hearing that it's going to be a part of an innovation competition. I beg you, farmers, anybody who doing any backyard farming or anything, get down to the beaches with your sacks, pull it up, fill it up, take it home, and add it to your compost. Compost can be done in drums, or compost can be done by digging a small hole in the ground. That's how I do it. I dig a small hole, and I put on a layer soil. Put on a layer soil. And I fold that right up, a hole about 2-3 feet deep. And I wet that every day. Once a week, I turn it up, cover it again, wet that. When I see stuff start growing on that, I know it's ready. Because if you have too much soil, too much salt? It's the same thing that happens if you take too much manure and throw it on your plants. Too much manure is going to burn the plants down. So don't just add it to your plants right away. Because too much salt in there. You see what the inside there? Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are the things that will burn your plants if it is too much. So you allow it to break down naturally into your soil before you begin to plant. The same thing that applies to any of the fall manure or the whatever manure you're adding. Too much manure means the plants will burn. So you have to apply it. So I put it in the soil and I wait until I see grass start to grow up on it. When I see grass start to grow up on it, I know for sure it is ready now for my plants. I take it and I add it to my potting plant material. I make my own potting plant material. I went into a store and I saw they have a sack of potting plant material for about $40-something. I say, oh, they must be drunk. Whatever you smoke and I don't want that to drink, you're mad. I live in an area that have a small forest. I just go up inside there with a little sack bag and I come out with all kind of dead plant material. Broken pieces of plants, trees, the bark. It's on the ground, it's rotten. You take that and you crunch that up. You crunch that up as fine as you can. You leave some trunks because it allows the water now to be retained in the soil. Soil alone just won't do. Because when soil is dry, it clumps and kills the roots. So you want some freeness in the soil. That potting plant material mixed with soil, mixed with that same compost material from that seaweed, and you want to see things grow by. But we're playing the fool with it. We're having it on the beaches just sitting there, and we are acting as if we don't know what to do. We don't know how to compost. We don't know how to do agriculture. We're bringing somebody here to tell us how to do compost for seaweed, when all I need to do is type in on a computer. Seaweed compost. How to use it. How to apply it. How to make it. How to use it. Simple. And we have it on our beaches just sitting there. Where I work, we look over at Cattell's Beach, and all I need to see is some coming in. I say, good. The moment that lands on the beach, is me on it. I drive down my car, couple of bags. A fellow watched me one day. He said, where you going with all that? I said, this is going into my compost. He said, just plant lettuce and thing? I said, yes, sir. He said, good man. So how to do it? So me and that fellow now, we come real good friends. We're standing there for the next hour. And I'm telling him what to do, how to do this and how to do that and all kind of thing. The same component that is found in all the stuff that we import. We import quite a lot of fertilizer here. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. In an organic form, given to us by the Almighty. But we're waiting until somebody to come and tell us how to use it. What to do with it. You see we making joke? Tell me if we ain't making joke. Thank you very much for listening, my friends. We'll do this again tomorrow at 7:20 for another edition of Solutions right here on WEFM 99.9. Have a great day.